plant. It may not show in my voice, and because I get excited, and so I have to be careful how I speak. My dad was a Rotarian a while back in Chicago, in West Chicago, and that's where I'm from, in Chicago. I didn't give Howard much of a bio on myself. What I call myself is a connector, a networker, a listener, and a doer, and an entrepreneur. As I said, I'm from Chicago, active in my church. I've been in the packaging business for 40 years, real estate investor in the distribution of health. In my opinion, there is no expert on this, the hemp plant or CBD oil, marijuana plant. Israel's been studying for about 30 years. A lot of people are saying one of the things is you need the THC in the oil or in the plant as you use it or not. So there's a lot of different things that people are looking at, trying to figure out what is the best way to do it. Dr. Sanjay Gupta of CNN says the elements of CBD seem to help. It's an incredible what our research for this article has shown is more and more people use CBD, more research and studies are reporting are done, and seems to be a vast majority of people who are using CBD are claiming amazing results, almost instant results. And I know I don't like to read, but Sanjay Gupta, I don't want to mess up what he's saying here. So it does cover a wide range of elements, as he said, cancer treatments, epilepsy, and other neurological disorders, anxiety, depression, insomnia, sleep disorders, pain, inflammation, diabetes, diabetic nerve pain, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, spasm, MS, PTSD, stress relief, and much more. And this will also work in animals, dogs, and cats too. And I'll tell you about something last night that we gave one of our friends gave to a dog. In October 2016 or 2015, sorry. The National Institute of Drug Abuse had a study by the Senate, and they presented some things to the Senate, and it was the biology and potential therapeutic effects of cannabis oil. And so there is a lot of research out there, and they basically said the same thing Dr. Gupta said. There is a critical area for a lot of new research. There's a lot of evidence that this will be had. They said, let's not get ahead of ourselves for this. As far as I know, let me make a medical disclaimer here, a legalese. I do not treat, diagnose, recommend to treat any diseases. The cannabis has been growing along for a long time. Nobody knows when it really started to first find the experience to do this. In every society that we discovered cannabis hemp, they often discovered 5 uses. The hemp and fibers to make ropes, shirts, all kind of cloth, oil from the seeds for food, medicine, and their neurotic properties. It has existed for over 10,000 years and was cultivated as early as in China in early 4000s that we can see that. Most cultures viewed hemp as a gift or a treasure from the divine spirit used during ceremonials. So there's a lot of different testimonies that we can see back then. The Chinese have been doing it, like I said, for about 5,000 years. They said it was a hemp fruit. If taken in excess, it produced hallucinations. In the Anatomy of Medicine, published 1621, recommended hemp for depression. So we've known this for a long time, even here in the U.S. In 1764, it suggested applying hemp roots for skin inflammation. One about how I got involved is I've known people for about 7 years, and they said we're going to start to distribute this. But one of the examples of I needed a new hip, and it helped me tremendously with my arthritis. After about 6 hours of using some of our oil, it went away. And I spent 5 hours in the 5 hours in the garden on a Sunday without a lot of discomfort afterwards. And what I read from Dr. Gupta, he is not promoting our oil. He's just saying CBD oil in overall. I don't want to make sure that he's not one of our doctors or anything like that. As far as, so that was our history. In history, right now in 1639, Massachusetts and Connecticut said that people should grow the hemp oil, and it was so valued they used to pay taxes with the hemp oil and hemp seeds. In 1776, the colonies passed laws to encourage farmers to produce hemp, and they actually in Virginia they compelled farmers to comply with the law and find people to do that, to grow the hemp oils. And there were a lot of books published about that. Well, let's get to the modern day. What is Warren Buffett, Elon Musk doing in the cannabis area? Obviously, everybody's heard of those two people. They're investing in medical marijuana stocks. They are betting to change lives in health and wealth. Obviously, Buffett worries more about wealth, and he's a very healthy person. So which ones do you really invest in? Is Warren really a bettor? So you got to do your own due diligence. But there's a lot of different camps. I had a friend of mine, a friend of a friend. His name was Al. He was sent home to hospice care right after Thanksgiving, and they gave him some pumps of oil, and 9 pumps on Sunday and some more on Monday and Tuesday. And he set up a bed on Monday and Tuesday and started reading the paper. And he had a very comfortable life for about 6 weeks till he passed away. So that was, I can give you some examples like that. If you want to do your own due diligence on this, one of our websites that was suggested is called PubMed, PUBMED.com, and that's published doctor reviews in medical literature. Also, I just learned from talking with somebody that if you go Google.com Scholar, that gives you a lot more due diligence, and you type in CBD oil, and you'll get a lot more references that way without a lot of other promotion sites. If you Google CBD oil, there's over 18 billion different sites and hits and all kinds of crazy things. So the marijuana industry is red hot right now. It's changing rapidly the way people think. In 1995, before California became the first legalized medical cannabis for compassionate use, 25% of respondents in a Gallup poll, national poll, wanted to see it legalized. It was unchanged until 1980. However, in 1995, we see a steady uptick from the support of the weed. By 2005, 36% approved the nationwide legalization. In 2011, 50% for the first time ever said they should be legalized. Finally, in 2016, the top 60% logging an all-time high. The shift is rapidly changing for the marijuana. Now, the problem is marijuana, hemp oil, there's 3 or 4 different ways. There's 3 ways to take it. You can smoke it, you can take it with an oil, or you can do the edibles. The problem with smoking it is you also get the smoke that comes in there, and you really don't know until it's really legalized and tested and kept under testing. You don't realize what you're smoking, and all of the edibles as well. It needs to be legalized or legalized so it can be kept under control, so you know what you're getting, because there is such thing as a cross-pollination. A plant mixes with B plant. If they're close enough, eventually they're going to cross-pollinize, and you really don't know what you have. And so I think the growers understand that, but people, that if you're in your own place, if you're growing in your own house, you can have some cross-pollination eventually, and you really don't know what you get. And so you might get C instead of A or B, what you're looking for. Same thing with the edibles, you want to know what you're doing, and the same thing with the oils. So there's a lot of different growers around the whole world, and so you want to really know what you're doing, what you're taking, trying to take. I think it all works out about the same, but if you're buying a certain strand, you want to make sure that you're really getting what you're advertising. Your body has CBD receptors. Let me go back one time here. The quickest way to get anything in your body is putting it under your tongue. And so oils go underneath your tongue. Usually have because that's the fastest way to get it in the bloodstream. If you smoke it, and you get 95% effect by putting anything underneath your tongue. And there's pills that go underneath your tongue, such as baby aspirin if you're going to have a heart attack. It gets in your bloodstream much quicker. If you smoke it, obviously it has to go through your lungs, and it's got the lungs have got to take it through, and you only get about 6 or 8% of the effect. And the same thing with edibles, because you have to go all the way through to your body, your digestive system. So only going to get 6 or 8% of the medical benefits using it that way. Your body has CBD receptors. Your body has CBD. Obviously, you can't see this, but okay. You have CBD receptors in your brain, in your lungs, in your liver, and your kidneys, and those are CBD receptors 1. And we also have them in our lymph nodes, which is CBD receptors 2. I'll just pass that around too, so you people can see. So we know it's good for your body, and that. Now, so we've talked about what might be happening to people. So what just happened in Houston? Big Super Bowl, Lady Gaga. Do you think that was one of the best games ever down there, playing that Super Bowl for people? I see some snickers because the right team didn't win. And Lady Gaga has a pretty good gig going on. She can relate to the millenniums, and now she's turned her teamed up with Tony Bennett. And don't say old guys can't learn new tricks, because I'm sure that's turning some heads when she gets on TV. So if you like the outcome, when the second half started, that ball bounced off that guy's leg, and the Patriots caught it. I knew the Patriots going to win. What's that old saying? The way the ball bounces. So what does the Super Bowl and CBD all have with this conversation? How many past inductees walked up to the stage hobbling? They all want the approval of the CBD oil to help the pain. They're tired of hard drugs in the system, damaging the livers and the kidneys, and the addiction to it too. So those are some of the different. That's how come the pro players want it, and that goes across all of them because they feel the useful benefits of it. And so if you go to like Google, like PubMed, like you said, and put in CBD oil and put in your illness, it'll pop up and it'll give you some ideas if you like to read some of the medical terms and things like that. So what about the laws? Between May and August of 2016, the Pew Institute interviewed national sample of more than 7,900 police officers, local and sheriff departments. 100 sworn officers gave their opinions whether or not to legalize or not legalize nationally. Pew's findings show 32% of the police officers believe cannabis should be legal for recreational and medical purposes. 30% wanted to see marijuana legalized for medical use only. 30% of the police officers believe pot should remain illegal nationally. The DEA came out with tried to do something in December, trying to make CBD oil illegal, but the DEA cannot write laws, and they were trying to rewrite laws, and so that was put out. So what does Trump say? And I just found this on the internet here. And this was in one of the CBD cannabis mass use is the name of the article for the magazine. Readers probably already know Trump pledged on the campaign trail he would respect the state marijuana laws. You probably know that Trump's nominee, Sessions, has a long history of speaking about legalization. And if you're going to be with Trump, you're going to follow Trump's rules. So I think you'll see more legalization along the way for hemp oil, CBD oil. Right now, Maryland is has hemp farms for clothing, Kentucky is turning some of their tobacco acres into hemp farms. And so those are a couple of different things as far as the CBD oil, hemp oil. Me a little bit more is, you see that I'll give you my introduction, but I'm also into packaging in real estate. And there's, as you know, the billionaires have 7 different kinds of income streams. So if you know any vendors with packaging questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I've been doing packaging for 40 years. Real estate, I've helped some other people with myself. So if anybody has any real estate questions or testing, I'll be more than happy to help them out there. And obviously, if anybody has any questions for the CBD oil, hemp oil, I'm more than happy to talk about it. I'm the old-fashioned. I like talking to people on the phone, face to face, and so that's kind of my what we're doing. That's kind of the end of my presentation.
I have a question.
Okay.
If the pro football players, how does that affect their drug test?
Okay. I did a drug test. Everybody's drug test, everybody's oil is different. Okay. I did it with our oil, and this is the disclaimer. If you're going to get tested, we suggest you don't use any oil, okay? Now, that being said, because we can't control what you've done the day before or for months on end. That's my disclaimer. I did a urine test at a DOT. I've been using the hemp oil, our hemp oil, for about 8 to 10 weeks, and it came out negative. So you have to watch what you take if you're going to be consistently tested. And so so that's, they would like it because, and if that was the only case, I mean, there's low enough THC in products that they would get the benefit of the pain relief from it.
So where's the hemp cannabis that you get, where is it grown?
We're using 100-year-old farms in Spain and England, Spain and Europe. And that are
not
organic.
Washington, Colorado.
No. And that's one of the ways. In 2012, there was a farm bill that said if you import the stems, then you receive your stems, the flowers, then you can distribute it around the U.S. And that was in the 2012 farm bill. And then we do our magic in a bottle in Colorado.
Okay.
But if we only use Colorado stock or California stocks, then we would only distribute in California.
Because you can't cross state lines, stuff from those areas.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And really and truly, most people or most police officers you kind of read aren't looking for that because the value of the cannabis oil, marijuana has gone down so much. Most of them don't, should be trying to legalize it. So I mean, there's a lot of different things on that.
Rick,
So
what do you know about cannabis?
nothing. I've never touched this thing. I passed along a lot of concerts. I've inhaled, but I didn't. But so it's interesting because I know the medical benefits of it. I think that's great. But how do you keep it from being a detriment to the young people and the minds that aren't developed yet? Unless there's a whole other issue why people are trying to keep it, I think, illegal and trying to. There's not a lot of definition. So my question is there a way to measure the THC, and so you can give a prescription with a certain amount of THC? Because I know, I've heard some movie star and his wife on a weekend, they decided to try some stuff, and some guy gave it to him and said, this is this kind of cannabis, and they said, well, wow, this was really stronger than anything they took when they were teenagers.
Right.
So there's all kinds of variations in that. So how can we keep a level, like when you take it, if you were going to use it for a purpose, how would you know you weren't getting too much or how the dosage works?
Well, that's where it comes back to testing in labs and having legal test labs.
Yeah.
So that way it would be, you would know what's in that and you would be certified and labeled that way.
Yeah.
Ours is that way. I think ours is that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried about legal issues here.
Yeah, well,
You have to trust, like in Colorado. I don't know. I've never been to Colorado. Yeah. You Google it. That's what I tell people is to keep Googling because there's so much out there. And I think if it's they're supposed to be able to control the strains and how much THC is in there. And so, I don't know,
I didn't realize the oil was that much stronger than if you had handled it. What you just
right,
yes,
because it gets in your system.
yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
So,
Through your mucosa when you put it in your tongue.
right,
So
sublingual is the right word.
something that's so that's I mean I think it's great if people can use it properly. That's just been the issue. It's how to because all those descriptions they give, I think I've read about all these farms that are popping up and investing in it.
Right,
And they talk about, they describe it, but they don't tell you what the THC content is. It's all about. You know, it does this or it feels this way, it's stronger, it's feelings you're supposed to get from it. It's like describing wine, you know?
right.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it too. I mean, that's a good way. How many different wines are there? And there's, you know, I don't know.
But they tell us the alcohol contents.
Well, then I think that maybe has to be on the bottle. I mean, it has to be, that's a good question. Is how they should regulate that and how much THC is in there to hallucinate narcotic, I think. And maybe that's one way to do it. Like I said, I've never been to Colorado, so I don't know. I've never read the labels.
Haven't been there since they legalized it, but
Well, we were there, but nobody even mentioned it, you know,
Right.
so.
Well, I think that's a very good question. So,
so to have the oil in Texas, do you have to have a prescription?
no, it's because we import it from Spain and we go to Colorado and do our back put it there. It doesn't. The big thing is the Farm Bill of 2012 said when you import it, we can then distribute it to all 50 states.
No. So, as an oil, how do you take this? Can you put it on the skin topically?
You just
Just
underneath the skin.
Oh, okay.
I've tried a couple of different things, taking it on your skin. We've done some things. We haven't noticed a difference because I think that you have to have a different compound or different chemicals to absorb it in your skin.
Mm.
Now, that was one of the two things. We didn't do a lot. I didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a test, a long-term test. It was just a day or two.
Do y'all have any questions, Chris, Howard? I guess not.
It's actually testing though, if you're going, or your employer tests you,
Right,
like if you're driving in DOT
Right.
and stuff like that, or if you're working for a company that they takes transfer here, they want to test you for employment or education, drug tests and stuff. Is that going to show up as just like regular?
again, legal-wise, using my oil, it shouldn't. But if you're going to be tested, we say on the website you shouldn't use our oil because we don't know what you're doing a month ahead of time, 2 weeks ahead of time.
Well, so many companies, it's a random, you don't know, until
Right.
you go into work that day.
Right. I got tested. I didn't. I showed up negative. So that's the only thing I can say is I showed up negative doing a DOT urine test.
Okay, but on this, it's not topical,
No.
really. You have to put it under your tongue.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Can I ask about what it costs?
A bottle is $140. That's what we sell it for, is $140.
Okay.
So you can get involved with me and be a distribution also.
I don't want to work.
I have fun with it.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I wear the hat, people ask me and stuff like that.
That's not my hearing.
Okay. And it's also, and I guess I'm pretty adamant about because it's such a good plant. It's such a healthy plant.
How long would a bottle last?
A bottle would last, with 4 pumps a day, a bottle like that would last a month. And I don't take it every day, but after about 2 days, I can tell. I go, where's that bottle? It's healthy with my environment.
My cousin's husband is kind of reaching the last stages of traditional treatment. He's been doing greens, a lot of greens and oxygen treatments for cancer and all of that. And
Can you speak up a little louder?
he's getting ready to try out alternative medication. And after doing a lot of research, he found the only way to legally get this stuff is to cross the border to Mexico, where they have a whole bunch of these oils. That's what he said, oils.
Right.
And like, I will send him your link.
Thank you.
And see if this thing. He's in Canada, so I don't know if that's the issue.
They- I don't know,
Uh,
it's legal in Canada.
Maybe that's the problem, it's not legal in Canada.
It is legal.
Oh, it is legal.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier, it's been a few years ago, but I bought some hand lotion, and it had hemp in it. But they would not let me bring it across the border. You had to declare it, and then you can't take it. But that was years ago. So they do grow it, and they do have it in Canada, it's legal.
Right.
I'm
Can you ship this to
I'm
Canada?
sure you can ship it to Canada.
I can,
Right.
and then I'll get it from you.
No, you don't put a return address, you don't put a return address.
People are looking for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've taken, and I think there's other oils too, but if you have a low THC, we've taken it to airports for screenings and stuff like that. Our guys are traveling internationally with it, and the dogs, and nobody's questioning it, so I'm not, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with it.
But it was well known in California when it was medical purposes only. You didn't have to see a doctor, you just filled out a form. And when you got the form, you got a cheat sheet that tells you what to check where. They might as well have the answer pre-printed on the form,
Right.
and then you're good. So it was ridiculous.
We might have to get some for Bill. He has post-polio syndrome, and he's having a lot of trouble. They don't know what's wrong with him. And post-polio is what he has, but they don't know what to give him to.
This does balance the immune system. A lot of our diseases are immune driven. And so this is like, I don't treat, I don't heal, I don't diagnose, I don't recommend.
Yeah.
But,
What's it supposed to do for the immune system? Enhance it?
it's supposed to balance it out. So,
I used to be involved with an aloe vera company,
right.
so you always had to give him.
Well, right, especially if this is being recorded.
Well, yeah, well, you never know who's gonna be safe.
Been involved with supplements, they always have that.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
Well,
because it's not FDA approved,
Right.
it's
So you have to.
there's no controls, there's no blind studies, there's,
right,
I mean, they can do their own private blind studies, but,
right.
you know, so, well, any other questions? Lisa, you have any questions?
No, great presentation, thank you very much.
When you guys are bringing this in, so where's it shipped from?
It's shipped from, in Europe, either Spain or Finland, they got
Okay,
it.
because that gets in the Farm Bureau regulations.
Correct. Right,
And then they ship it to Colorado for the
Right.
manufacturing part?
right.
Okay. What part of Colorado? Can I ask you to go out there, and I'm just wondering if it's near Denver
I have
or?
no idea, they won't tell us where they,
Oh, okay.
we're gonna meet the scientists here in a little bit.
So is it been mailed out of Colorado to you, right?
You see in Colorado, we have a distribution center here in Dallas.
So it may come through, but it's coming from there, and all that's legal.
Right.
Obviously. Because of all the, comes out of the Farm Bureau regulations?
Because of the Farm Bureau regulation.
And it's an oil versus,
Right,
Oh, it's very close, it's your freeway, LBJ freeway to,
versus if it was marijuana in the smoking form or anything else, it would be differently regulated. And that's why I'm wondering,
Well,
if they can do that, why
it's
can't they send stuff from Spain to Colorado to people to Texas where it's not legalized yet?
they probably eventually will, we're one of the first ones out. Doing it in the direct sales business. There is other. It's interesting, they do, there are some disclaimers that they can't sell some of the oils, or send some of the oils outside the state. I mean, I'm just thinking back, since you asked that question, there's people that'll sell it, but, I think they can only sell it in the state, they can't send it out of the state.
there's just a lot of bureaucracy with all the
Rules
rules
and regs.
and regs and everything.
Right,
Like wine, we preferred winery in Virginia. They've got a chart that shows what states they can ship wine to.
right,
It's not every state.
Right. It was like Texas, you don't think they can ship out of state.
I think they can ship, they can be shipped to Texas.
Right, but I don't think Texas wineries can ship out of state.
Several years ago,
That could be.
I mean, I would-
we had somebody that was wanting a sample of a wine from Austria,
Mhm.
so they shipped it to me
Okay.
as grape juice.
I guess there's always ways around it, so.
Even
We
though
bought
one
some
bottle
in
was
New Mexico, hatch chili wine. And it's actually, they gave you a little sample taste. Not bad.
Right.
Now, I tasted the green, the red, they richen it up, with a lot of half chili powder in it.
The other, you get the essence, and you can smell it,
Uh-huh.
the red chili, but it's really not a spicy wine.
Right.
Of course, I can only smell it when I'm looking for this alcohol. Okay, are there any further questions? I think we've had a really lively exchange here this evening. I'm sorry more people weren't online. Chris, is this going to be recorded? Chris,
Can you hear me?
was this recorded? Yes, was
yes.
this recorded that we put it? Okay.
Yes, it is
Because
being
I think
recorded.
if they missed it, they can go back in online then and see the presentation.
Okay.
Is there contact information?
Contact information, where can we contact you?
My phone number is 469-556-7007. And my email is zip, Z-I-B, like in boy, T-O-N, @gmail.com.
Okay. Zipton@gmail.com. Okay, thank you very much. We
Thank you very
appreciate
Thank
it
you.
coming out. And if we stand, we'll, for the four-way test of the things we think say or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it be fun?
Oh, yeah.
Thank y'all.